Hello again from my front porch. Welcome to the 7th episode of my 8-part series Conversations with Coco. Coco Dolenz, the sister of Micky Dolenz of the Monkees. I had a very wonderful, lengthy conversation with her in which we talked about a whole lot of stuff. And in fact, this episode, Coco is going to be, we're going to see her being genuine and real. Not that she's not in the other episodes, but in this one, we get a chance to really hear about her, what she thinks, and we get to hear about some of the members of the Monkees as well, and some of the genuine and real dynamics that were involving those individuals who played such a major part in her life as well. Now, I got this in the mail recently. I'm very excited about the Monkees Live, the Mike and Micky show, the recordings from a tour, the two album set. Almost dropped it. That would have been painfully heartbreaking. But the 2 album set where they have just all of these amazing hits on this album that span their entire career. But through all of them, Coco Dolenz in the background singing makes the blends and the harmonies on the album just incredible. But Gemma Coco Dolenz herself is pretty incredible. So let's hear from Coco as she is genuine and real. Enjoy.
In psychology, you study, Maslow and his hierarchy of needs.
Yep.
It was the pyramid, right? And at the bottom is like, I want to have food, I want to have a shelter,
The
and
basics,
if I can get that together, that's like the basics. That's the foundation. It's like a house, you need the foundation. Then you can start moving up to other things. But like I said, ultimately we are all the same. We all want the same things.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that because that's not linguistically correct. No, there might be some people that don't want all the same things, but I generally feel that we just want to be safe. We want to have our family. We want to have food. We want to have our, place to live.
I think you're accurate. I think we all want the same thing. What the variations is that when we talk about we want to have shelter and we talk about we want to have safety, we just define those terms differently.
Yes. Yeah, different perspectives. That's true. Well, yeah, because to one person it's like, well, I need 3 houses, like, in Aspen and da-da-da.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. And I need 2 houses, or I need a house that has a blah, blah, blah. I live in an apartment, okay? And I'm perfectly happy. I love to live in a loft, actually.
Yeah.
Those old lofts like in New
yeah.
York, where it's all one huge room. It's kind of like my apartment. And it's
We have some of those here in Des Moines.
Do you?
Yeah. I bet they're cheaper than New York too.
Or California. But it's like, what do you really need? And I think people I've talked to recently, they're getting, I think, a little bit more in touch with priorities and what's really important, and things don't make us happy. We make ourselves happy, and it's fascinating. I think it's like horrid, everything that's going on. And in the long run, I think it's going to open a lot of eyes and people are becoming more real, and more subjective, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well,
Interesting.
Yeah. 2020 has always been what we refer to as, clarity of vision. That your vision is your vision is sharpest, your vision is focused when you can see 2020, and
Yes.
For all of the bad that's in our world right now that we're enduring, it is revealing a lot. It's exposing a lot, and it's making us look at a lot of stuff that we
and think about things we never
at.
thought about. Yes.
Yeah.
I posted on my Facebook. Actually, I posted on my Facebook yesterday, which I don't usually get into a whole thing politically or anything, and it's not political. But I posted the guy's songs, the song Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Great song, Cynthia Weil and Barry Mann. It's not black and white. There's shades of gray. There's no like this is right and this is wrong. Oh please, this is the 21st century, so. Anyway.
I remember hearing Peter doing an interview where more recently, years after the Monkees.
Yeah.
But I remember him talking about that song specifically and about what how powerful it was and how he always wished that the record label would have released that as a single. But but they never did, because he
Yeah.
thought that would have been a huge hit, and
Yeah.
I think it would have as well. I think it was a very, very strong song.
Oh, huge. But maybe it was too powerful for the Monkees,
Well, that's probably why it
and
didn't
everybody
get
thinks of
released
it as
like
like,
that.
da, 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 right?
Yeah,
And here we're
yeah.
making these like Mommy and Daddy. What happened to the Indians that
Oh
Mickey
my,
wrote, right?
that's heavy. That is a
Or
heavy song. Or
Harvey
Zoran
song,
Zam.
Zoran Zam, Zoran
Yep,
Zam, Billy
yep.
Chadwick, absolutely. And they gave a war and nobody came. I mean, they
That
were trying to
if
express
only
their
that would
own.
happen.
mm, maybe it will. Enough of us have to just go, okay, enough.
Yep.
This is nonsense, and go away. you know, I don't know. I don't know. Can only hope.
Well,
All we can do is,
I have
go
one
ahead.
more image, and
Okay.
I almost hate bringing it up because it's kind of sad,
Hmm.
but I thought,
Peter.
honestly, I thought this was a beautiful photo,
Yeah.
and
Wonderful.
because it's you with Mickey and Peter, and it's a
Yeah.
shame, so sad that we've now lost Peter as well, first Davy, then Peter,
Yeah.
and Peter struck me as a guy. Again, I've only met him, well, briefly a couple of times,
Mm.
after their shows, but he struck me because of his difficult journey between the Monkees and the Monkees
Yeah.
resurgence. Um, he seemed, I don't know, he seemed to really genuinely appreciate what he now had
Yes.
because of the Monkees. Um,
Absolutely.
and so there was like this, and I don't know, maybe it's just the kind of guy he was, but this image too, his face,
Mm.
it just he seemed to resonate, radiate such a genuineness,
Absolutely.
such an honest
Yeah.
individual, and not just like in this image, but again, I was able to meet him just briefly,
Mm.
but you don't have to talk to somebody very long or be around them very long to really get a feel for the kind of person they are. And he just
Uh,
really seemed like a really really good guy.
he was. Peter was an idealist.
Hmm.
He was a tree hugger.
Hmm.
He was. I think he believed in people, and he never, you know, stopped speaking his mind about stuff. He was very, forthwith.
Hmm.
But he was a genuine spiritual soul. I mean, even when I knew him as a kid, he was the one that was meditating and doing all the,
Hmm.
stuff. Spoke his mind, and would tell you exactly what he thought. But he was a humanist, and didn't suffer fools, and wanted people to be real and wanted people to be honest, you know.
Hmm.
I could be very honest with Peter because, I grew up with these guys when I was like a teenager, right? So to
Yeah.
me, they weren't the Monkees. They were these guys that were in my brother's show.
Hmm.
And I could be very real with them, and
Hmm.
say, Peter, screw off. What are you talking about? you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and I think they appreciated it because they had so many people around them, like
Oh yeah.
anybody of that ilk.
All
They have people around them going, yeah, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you
all the
say.
glad
And I'd
handlers.
call
Yeah.
them on it. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I'd call him on it. I'd call my brother on it.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, please, get over it. And Peter was very genuine that way. And it was hard for some people because he was so truthful and hmm, so honest about things.
Almost, well, a lot of people are really uncomfortable with that level of honesty.
Yeah, yeah,
We find comfort in hiding behind this facade that
exactly.
is a go along to get along sort of a mentality. We don't necessarily even like everything that we accept, but it's the way
Yeah,
that we keep the peace. It's the way that everybody gets along. And then along
yeah,
comes someone like Peter that says, "Smash! I don't care about that. I'm me,"
yeah.
and it makes
What are
everybody
you
around him
thinking? Why
uncomfortable.
are you thinking
Yeah.
that? Why would you be doing that? When it's detrimental to yourself. It's like, well, I don't know. And he was a unique guy. He really was. And so was David. I mean, Davey um would give you the shirt off your back, off his back, and he did many times. You know, he was so gracious and so um careful like that. I mean, he was such a good guy, and yet he had his demons. We all have our
He does.
demons. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then
Yeah.
and like even Mike, he obviously was not chose not to be part of what was the Monkees for a long time.
Yeah.
That he as he was legitimately pursuing other things, but I
Yeah.
think also he was a little worried about getting sucked back into because
Yeah.
as a video pioneer,
Yeah.
a music video pioneer, I think he probably understood as maybe better than any of the rest of the guys just how powerful this medium was and this blurring of reality and that boundary because Mike proceeded to capitalize on that and work with that and blaze that trail and so I think
Yeah.
my gut tells me I've not talked to Mike about it. I don't know, but my
Yeah.
gut
Yeah.
tells me
No,
that
I
that
think you're pretty
that
right
that
on.
he would, yeah, that led him to want to avoid getting too close back to it because he recognized how easily that that boundary would blur again too. That he'd worked so hard to now fence off, but
I
now
think
now he's
I
part of
think
it though.
Yeah, he is, and I think he's, learned to embrace it. A couple of things. I remember as a kid, the original Superman
Hmm.
lived in our neighborhood because I lived
Yeah,
in LA and everybody was, right?
that was Jim Reeves, right? Was that his name? No, Reeves was his name.
No,
Was it Jim?
it was
No, it was
Reeves
something.
because it was like
Yeah,
Chris Reeves,
George
but it
George
was
Reeves,
George
right?
Reeves. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
he ended up.
Jim
The
Reeves was a
story
country
goes,
singer, I think.
the original Superman, and so many actors and people have done. They get pigeonholed
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
nobody can move away from what they were. And
yeah,
the story goes, and I don't know if it's true, but that he had taken his own life because nobody would give him a job in Hollywood.
yeah.
You were Superman. No one's going to believe you as anything else, right?
Hmm.
And you get typecast, you get typeset,
Yeah.
okay? And when you're in a show for a long time, people see you as that.
Hmm.
And to this day, you watch certain actors that have been in, very successful TV shows or
Hmm.
whatever. Really hard to not see Jennifer Aniston as the chick in Friends,
Rachel,
you
yeah.
know,
Or
Rachel,
William
right?
Shatner as Captain Kirk, or
There you
yeah.
go. Now, Shatner he actually, at the beginning, was very like Mike was with the Monkees. It's like, oh God, it's not anything. Shatner finally realized his impact as
Hmm.
being Captain Kirk
Hmm.
and realized the importance of it and finally
Hmm.
embraced it. And I think
Hmm.
that's what Mike did too, because Mike at the beginning, I think, was like, I want to be known as Mike, my own songwriting and this and
Hmm.
that,
Yeah.
and didn't want to be thought, as a monkey, right? I want to be known as me. And that was very difficult to do because you are typecast as a certain thing and people don't see like you said about that person coming up to Mickey. Well, he's supposed to be like, da da da.
Yeah.
It's like you get typecast and it's very difficult to move away from that. The only actors that do that are like, Dustin Hoffman
Yeah.
and Robert De Niro and people like this that somehow, they're able to take on a whole other persona
Yeah.
and do that. And I get lost and that's who they are,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. The other ones, it's like you only see that one. And George Reeves was one of them. He couldn't get a job, you know. Mickey had to go to England after the show and like at the end of the 70s and we were touring. He had to go to England to kind of reestablish himself because
Yeah.
in Hollywood it's like, well, who are you? You were a monkey. They have their
Yeah.
preconceived stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to England and starts directing all these plays and doing all these fabulous
Hmm.
things because over there they were like, oh, what can you do? And they'd accept him as him, you
Yeah.
know. It's a hard road, it
I
is.
tell you, the most the most bizarre, maybe even disturbing thing I've ever seen your brother do was his role in the Rob Zombie version of Halloween, where he was the gun shop dealer guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That was that was like I mean I watch it even knowing it's him and it's still that's just so weird.
Well, that's just it, because Mickey is so iconic. His face is so iconic. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I
and
can't
his voice.
imagine anybody being able, and his voice, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, his face is, I don't know where you are in the world or a airport or whatever, and they come up and they go, "Oh my God, it's so and so," because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so recognizable.
yep,
And think Mike had a hard time with that because he didn't want to be thought of as a monkey. He wanted to be acknowledged as his own self, as his own poetry and his work and everything else, which he has established himself, recently and stuff. But it's hard because people don't let go. They have a preconceived thing and they won't let it go. They won't let you grow.
Now,
They won't
I
let you
did notice that in the live show, the Mike and Mickey show now, I did
Mhm.
notice that because obviously in the original casting of the four guys,
Yeah.
excuse me, Peter was playing the idiot. He was
Yes.
playing the goof. Now ironically he's also the most musically talented of the group. With the widest range of what he can
And
do
he's
and
not
everything.
stupid. He wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
stupid.
yeah. But
Yeah.
he's playing stupid on TV.
The
That
dummy. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
He was the
the
dummy.
yeah, but now and so then like in the '87 tour that I'm pretty sure Davey coordinated, but there was an element of them playing the TV characters on stage
Which
to an
that's
extent
what
of
people want to
Sony.
see.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
wanted to see.
They want to see.
But
Yeah.
but now in the later reunion things here, there's been an ever increasing emphasis on it just being the music, and the only real element of the TV show is on the video
Mm.
screen, where there's some clips of stuff that plays,
Yeah.
and I'm okay
Sure.
with that. 'Cause like I said, I like the music, that's fine. But people that are coming wanting to see a live version of the TV show, it's like, well,
Yeah.
you're not seeing that. That's
Yeah.
and you do understand that was 50 plus years ago. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I did notice, and I thought was interesting is, as Peter, as his presence has waned, and then now as he's gone, and Mike has been stepping in. Mike seems to have taken on the onstage persona of being the goofy one, of being the jokester fellow.
Mm. Um, I think that's just Mike. Um,
Well, and I've
that's
never seen him in concert with him before, so maybe that was the
yeah.
case. But yeah,
Yeah. I think Mike is he's a loose cannon. You know, he's a
well,
loose cannon, and
I
there
was really
I
impressed with how he played off of his off of his age at the show that I saw,
yeah, yeah.
because even when they first came out, the band is kicking up and he's like, whoa, wait, and he's digging his pocket. Gotta get my pick out. I can't, these hands can't quite get in my pocket. I get my pick out,
Yeah, yeah.
and then towards the end, before you guys did the encore, everybody knows there's gonna be encores.
Yeah.
But there's always the here we go, we're done, thank you, and everybody leaves. But we all know if we're out there clapping enough, there's going to be encores. It's going to happen. But everybody left, and I'm sure this is probably planned, but still, it was comical seeing Mike do this. That he's still on stage, but it's like he's still fighting with his iPad stuff, and then all of a sudden he looks up and everybody's gone, and he says like,
Yeah.
"Hey, guy, where is everybody? We can't be according to my iPad. We still have two more songs to do. What is?" And I just thought that was a hysterical.
I
But
yeah,
but
it
he'd been
was.
fighting supposedly with his iPad the whole show, and
Oh, he
so it's
always
like it tied in with that. So
yeah. Well, I think that was organic. If I remember correctly, that was organic. We were all supposed to leave the stage, and Mike just didn't because Mike is Mike, and he was like, "Oh, what?" And
yeah,
it became part of the show that
yeah,
he just stayed there and did his thing. Because again, if it's funny, if it's good, if it's entertaining, you keep it.
yep, yep,
You know.
yep.
But Mike's a loose cannon. Mike can be very spontaneous and very unique, and his sense of humor is just used to scare me when I was a kid. It was like, what? Who are you? No, seriously, I mean, what? So, yeah,
So
yeah,
a little
yeah,
hard to sometimes tell when he's trying to be funny.
yeah. He's got an incredible sense of humor, but it's
Oh, I'm
very
sure.
dry,
Yeah.
very dry, very dry, and very unique. So it's great fun doing his songs too. I love his songs. We used to sit around, in the day and sing Papa Jean's blues and all these
hmm
things that he'd written, And in the show, they
have you sang have you sang the song Nine Times Blue?
oh yeah,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
I would think that you actually would sound very good singing that song.
I thank you. And yes, it's a wonderful song. But they put that acoustic part in the show to where they were singing Papa Jeans and some stuff by
Yeah,
themselves. And I'm over on the stage right going, I want to sing that song. Oh my
yeah.
God. Because it's so hard for me not to.
But
Yes.
one on the medley that I had of you singing with the Monkees, the
Yeah.
last one was actually Door into Summer,
Oh my God, yes.
from
Great
this
song.
album, from the
Yes.
live concert album.
Yes. Bill
Because
Martin wrote that song.
but
Good
without
song.
without, in fact, I think I commented on your Twitter about this, or I think I tagged you on Twitter when I commented this.
Mhm.
But without the beautiful haunting harmonies that you contribute to on that song on this album here, that song doesn't sound anywhere near as good.
Wow.
That's a vital component of that song, and it's
Well,
just
the
incredible.
song when the song was originally done, it had some of those harmonies in it,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
Christian Nesmith, Mike's son, had
Yep.
added some other stuff, and
Hmm.
you're absolutely right. I love doing that song, and it's very intricate. You know, the very end of it, of course. Skip the
Hmm.
ads. The very end of it.
Yep.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Go into summer.
So now you and Cersei, right? That's how you say her name?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Seriously.
Cersei Link. Yes, okay. You and Cersei do a fantastic job of blending your voices and
Yeah.
singing on songs like that, but all of them. And then Christian obviously is in there as well,
Well,
singing
he
some of
mixed
those
that
songs too.
album, and I think that's what people really appreciate. It's like we're not just sitting up there singing, la la la. It's like it's
Hmm.
musically incredible. That
Oh
album's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, it
That
is.
is amazing.
Well, and this actually is the first official live album from the Monkees.
Yes,
Um,
that's right.
I have the Live 67 tour, but that they did
Wow.
make recordings with the idea that they were going to do an album and they didn't, but Rhino, then
Right.
packaged and put it out. But as far as an actual official live album, this is the first one. Just like
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Christmas album that they did, that they came out with
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
was their first ever
Yeah.
Christmas album too, as the
Yeah.
Monkees officially.
I know. Well,
So
I think Mike has appreciated it, and since we give him so much license during the show, which we
mhm,
didn't get to do in April or July,
yeah,
he we're it's so well mixed between your regular monkey songs everybody wants to
mhm,
hear that Mickey sang,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then throwing in all these wonderful things that Mike did, it becomes a very wonderful musical evening,
oh yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I liked
Sure.
Mike all of a sudden breaking into the Grand Ennui, and
Oh God. Yeah.
and because I think it's a fun song. I just
Yeah.
like it. But there in the crowd that was gathered there in at the event that I was at, I could tell
Yeah.
there were some that were going, "Oh, what's this? What? This is a monkey
Yeah,
song?
right.
What?"
In my show, in my cabaret show, I do a song by Cole Porter, and I mention Mike Nesmith is the only other person that uses ennui in a song because Cole Porter did too.
Yeah,
But Mike's a poet, he's
yeah.
always been a poet. And
What I
when
find
he
interesting, but
performs, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say I find interesting about his songs how much his songs make no sense. That they're lyrical and they're interesting, but
Yeah.
if I feel like I would go crazy if I actually tried to figure out what the song says. There's
Oh,
some
please don't.
that are very clear story songs. They're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
clear about what's depicting, and then there's others you're listening to going, wait a minute, what? And you just
Yeah.
just enjoy it. Just shut up and enjoy.
Yeah. Just enjoy it. Just be quiet and listen and enjoy. Yeah, I mean, he goes to realms that no other person has gone.
So there you have it, the 7th installment of our 8-part series, Conversations with Coco. Coco being genuine and real. She just has such honesty, such integrity. It just exudes from her, and she was such a delight to talk to. I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you are enjoying every one of these installments along the way. Well, go out and check out the Monkees Live, the Mike and Micky Show, the Monkees' first ever official live album recording, and you'll love it, I promise. And I'll see you here next time for the final installment of our 8-part series, Conversations with Coco. I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.